number of sessions being conducted in the unit from 6 to 16 a day. This has significantly reduced the number of residents traveling to other counties for dialysis. We also have refurbished the outpatient department, which now serves double the number of patients. We constructed and equipped a modern kitchen and laundry unit, which have increased efficiency in catering as well as raised the hospital's hygiene standards. In order to conclusively address the challenge of management of hazardous and infectious waste, we now have a modern and fully functional incinerator at Kirugoya Hospital. Honorable members, in anticipation of increased demand for healthcare services and to enhance customer care, service delivery, and prudent use of hospital supplies, we're in the process of installing a hospital management and information system in all healthcare facilities in the county. Apart from transforming Kirugoya County hospitals, we have also implemented many development projects in other facilities across the county as follows. To provide quality mother and child care, we have constructed maternity wards at Sagana, Kimbimbi, Kianyaga, and Gariama sub-county hospitals. We also have constructed a male ward at Baricho Health Center and completed an X-ray unit at Sagana sub-county hospital. We installed generators in 6 health facilities to ensure that services are not disrupted in case of electric power failure, especially during critical services such as surgery in theaters. To enhance security and improve sanitation, we constructed a toilet block, chain link fence, and a burning chamber at Njega's Health Center. In order to improve access to quality primary health care, we are now undertaking the completion of the construction of Mushagara, Kiamugumo, Kiandai, Kiamwadhi, Kianjiru dispensaries and Joshua Mbai laboratory, and we also have undertaken to complete other dispensaries as resources allow. Honorable members, as we all know, universal healthcare is part of His Excellency the President's Big Four agenda. The first phase of the rollout, which covered 4 counties, namely Kisumu, Nyeri, Machakos, and Isiolo, was completed last year, with all other counties now onboarded. In Kirinyaga, we are on track in the rollout of our Kiri Care UHC plan, and we'll be looking to you for support in passing the Kiri Care bill shortly. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic has had adverse effects on the normalcy of life. Nations and communities alike have had to make significant adjustments and adopt new ways of provision of public services, social engagement, and even business transactions. In our county, so far, we have had 488 people who have tested positive for coronavirus, all of whom have recovered, with the exception, sadly, of 7 who have regrettably succumbed to the disease. Together, we were able to ensure that our 2020-2021 budget allocation goes towards improving our healthcare services and completing the existing projects in the health sector so as to increase our capacity as a county to make healthcare services accessible to our residents. We recognize and honor all our healthcare givers and other first responders who have selflessly been in the front line in the battle against the virus, despite the challenges involved. For this, we say to them, Gayamara Adime. As the county government, we have continuously ensured that our healthcare givers are provided with personal protective equipment and that our health facilities are supplied with necessary equipment to combat the virus. From the onset of the pandemic, we put several containment measures, which included distribution of water tanks, soap, sanitizers, and masks to various institutions and members of the public. We decongested our markets to create social distance and carried out routine fumigation of public places such as markets, bus stations, and public offices. We have sustained public education on the disease and enhanced our disease surveillance system with the hope of containing any further spread of the virus. All our healthcare givers have been trained on infection prevention and control, courtesy of the Kenyatta National Hospital, while all our community health volunteers are currently undergoing training through a partnership between the county government and AMREF. To assist families that were extremely affected by the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, we developed a social protection program through which we have been distributing relief food to vulnerable groups such as elderly people, people living with disabilities, and populations in the informal settlements, many of who lost their livelihoods over this period. Honorable members, our fight against this pandemic would have been much harder without the support of external parties. In particular, I would like to thank the national government for the much-needed boost in funds to manage the virus, as well as various organizations such as Equity Foundation, Bidco Company, East African Breweries, and Safaricom Foundation, who donated PPEs for use by our health caregivers. I would also like to thank Capwell Industries Limited and Kirinyaga University, who donated maize flour for distribution to the vulnerable amongst us. Since the reopening of schools last month, our health department has been working closely with our educators to ensure that all the laid down COVID-19 prevention guidelines are followed so that our children are safe in our learning institution. Each of our schools have been assigned a health worker and health facility to which any suspected COVID-19 case should be reported. We continue to urge every resident to observe the laid down COVID-19 prevention measures, which include washing hands, wearing a mask whenever in public, and maintaining social distance. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, in agriculture, we're all aware agriculture is the mainstay of our county's economy, and it is demanded of us that we provide solutions that make agricultural activities translate to better incomes and improve livelihoods for all our farmers. It is with this premise that my government undertook to set up Wezesha Kirinyaga. Through this socio-economic empowerment program, we are supporting farmers to diversify agricultural activities to enable them generate more income. The program primarily focuses on poultry, avocado, tomato, and dairy value chains. In poultry, we are supporting 32 community groups in the 1 million eggs a month project. We constructed the poultry houses, provided the chicks, and provided free poultry feeds in the first 6 months. And later, when the chickens started laying, provided subsidized feeds produced by Kiaga Feeds Factory, not forgetting the extension services by our officers. In turn, the farmers get the eggs, which are then collected and sold on their behalf by the Kirinyaga Investment Development Authority, KIDA. The proceeds are then paid to the farmers, minus the cost of the subsidized feeds. In the tomato value chain, we're in the final stages of approval of the designs of the tomato processing factory, which will be set up in Kangai Ward. The processing plant will utilize the post-harvest losses, which is estimated at 40% of the total production. In addition, the farmers will be encouraged to expand their production, as the county will be funding additional community groups to carry out production using drip irrigation and greenhouses. This will ensure that farmers will grow varieties suitable for processing without replacing the need for table tomato. To solve the challenge of availability of clean planting materials, the county will be putting up a tomato seedling propagation unit in Nyangate Ward. The avocado value chain involves supporting farmers to grow and sell avocados largely to meet the increasing global demand for the product. So far, we have distributed about 300,000 avocado seedlings to farmers with a target to add 50,000 more seedlings this year. We are also in the final stages of approval of an avocado collection and pack house, which will be put up in Kanyekeni Ward. The produce from the farmers will be aggregated at this pack house and marketed on behalf of the farmers by the Kirinyaga Investment Development Authority. At full production, each farmer is expected to earn an additional minimum of 1,000 shillings a day during the avocado harvesting period. The dairy production value chain aims at increasing the value of milk. As such, we will be supporting 3 cooperatives, namely Podago Cooperative in Mutira Ward, Kirema in Kabare Ward, and Rungeto Cooperative in Gariama Wards to increase their capacity in storage and processing. The cooperatives will be supported with additional chilling tanks, pasteurizing equipment, yogurt production machines and lines, and capacity of processing 500 liters of yogurt per day. In addition, we will put backup generators in these facilities to avoid losses whenever there is power outages. Through the cooperatives, the county will support the farmers to get the AI services at no cost on their side. The county is in the process of consulting talks with the Kenya Animal Genetic Resources Center at Ahitindoba on provision of quality and affordable AI to our dairy farmers. Honorable members, in order to diversify our activities and income for our farmers, we have begun a program to increase fish farming and consumption awareness. To achieve this, the existing farmers will be assisted through the provision of pond liners and fingerlings and subsidized fish feeds. In rice farming, we have continued to tackle the menace of quelea birds in order to secure our rice produce. We look forward to the completion of Thiba Dam, which will go a long way in increasing the production of rice from the current 80,000 tons to at least double the amount. I am also happy to note that we requested His Excellency the President our partnership with the national government to purchase rice will now provide our farmers with ready market for their rice at Kenya shillings 85 per kilo of paddy. The recent introduction of BT cotton by the national government in model farms in Mwea, in our county, represents a new income stream for our farmers. We aim at supporting them through revival of the idle cotton ginning facilities in Mwea in order to create jobs for our people. I would like to once again thank His Excellency the President for his tea and coffee sector reforms, which will go a long way in ensuring that our farmers get value for their labor. As the county government, we remain committed in safeguarding the interests of the farmers as the implementation of these reforms take place. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in the last 3 years, we have undertaken an ambitious project aimed at ensuring that all roads in Kirinyaga are passable during both the sunny and rainy season. By 2022, and ensure rapid movement of goods to markets and people to various destinations. As you are aware, we bought equipment which include 10 trucks, 5 graders, 2 excavators, 2 rollers, a bulldozer, a wheel loader, a water bowser, a backhoe, and a roller compactor. Over this period, we have managed to maram 456 kilometers and graded 2,163 kilometers of roads across the county. This record is set to significantly increase with the newly established Joint Roads Committee between the County Executive and this County Assembly. Through this partnership, we intend to maram at least 240 kilometers of roads across the county in the current financial year, and I am confident that we will realize and surpass this goal. Upon my request to His Excellency the President, Uhuru Kenyatta, during his visit to Mwea early last year, we received support for the tarmacking of 30 kilometers of roads in Waiguru town, which is currently ongoing. I committed to construct maram roads in Mwea irrigation scheme and the larger Mwea area. In collaboration with NIB and this Joint Roads Committee that we have set up, the project is already commenced and ongoing. To ensure that our trading centers and markets are able to operate for longer hours, we have installed floodlights also in over 10 towns, including Kirugoya, Kagumo, Kimbimbi, and Makutano. Honorable members, we all know that education is the empowerment tool that we can give to the next generation. This is why my administration has undertaken a number of infrastructural and human resource reforms in various ECDE centers and youth polytechnics, as well as resourcing the bursaries kitty to ensure no child in Kirinyaga is left behind. We have constructed and equipped 8 ECDE classrooms and renovated 26 others. We have also provided adequate teaching and learning materials to these centers. Together with this Honorable House, we have this financial year alone disbursed 110 million shillings to bursaries in aid of needy students in our county. This amount will benefit an estimated 32,000 in secondary school and about 8,000 university and tertiary going students. We have constructed 20 classrooms, renovated 4 classrooms and 3 workshops, and built 2 dormitories in polytechnics such as Kibingoti, Motito, Kaitheri, Moshewa-Orata, and Nyangate. In collaboration with the national government, Kaitheri Polytechnic and Sagana Technical College have been selected as training centers by the Kenya National Highways Authority to equip our youth with skills needed for expansion of the Kenol Marua Road project. Upon my request, 30% of the jobs related to this project are reserved for the youth and women from the counties along this road. I am certain that many of our people will take advantage of this opportunity to gain the necessary skills and earn income from this project, which is set to commence in the next 2 weeks. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the role of sports in our community cannot be understated. It is not only that it provides our youth avenues to develop their talents, but is a platform for instilling positive competition and social cohesion within the community. We requested His Excellency the President to have Waiguru Stadium upgraded, and that was granted. I'm happy to report that the work is progressing well. On our part, we have rehabilitated other stadia such as Kirugoya, which is 80% complete, and Kanyaga playing grounds. We have distributed sports kits to over 300 clubs, which include Denderoko FC, Kandongu FC, Barcelona Volleyball Club, and Kamutogo Volleyball Club. We have also procured more equipment to be issued in line with the proposed ward-based tournaments. We shall shortly be commencing the construction of social halls in Nyangate, Tebere, and Thiba, as provided by area MCAs. As a county, we are proud to have some of our best players selected to join the Kenya Super League and the Premier Leagues, while others have won scholarships to technical training institutes. Honorable members, my position on matters gender and support for youth affairs is well within the public domain. Throughout my career, I have been a vocal supporter of gender equality and in particular women empowerment, as they have always received the shorter end of the stick when it comes to opportunities for leadership. This recently earned me the vote of my fellow colleagues who elected me as the chair for Gender, Social Services and Youth Affairs Committee at the Council of Governors, a role I intend to take seriously, especially in ensuring gender parity is realized in all counties. In Kirinyaga, through our Wezesha Mama program, we established Kaitheri Apparel Factory, where several women are engaged in production of school uniforms, hospital apparel, and masks. This has been especially critical during this pandemic, where the factory produced thousands of masks for our traders, border youth, and vulnerable groups. We have completed the production of school uniforms for our ECD pupils and will shortly be distributing them to our ECD centers. We have built a gender-based violence and recovery center in Kirugoya. We also rolled out a sanitary pads distribution program, which has so far benefited over 20,000 girls in the county. Honorable members, the county government has the responsibility of ensuring that Kirinyaga realizes clean and healthy environments, as well as providing adequate water for domestic and irrigation use to our residents. Kirinyaga being a rural area, our main objective is ensuring at least 80% of our households receive piped water in their homes by 2022. For the time we have been in office, we have commissioned 27 life-changing water projects such as Mwea Makima, which supplies over 30,000 households in Mwea. The project has greatly contributed to reduction of waterborne diseases that residents suffered as a result of losing water from the rice canals. Other water projects include Riagishero, Kutus Mjini, Kiandegwa, and Ngariama Njokene, as well as Kamolo and Kiboro borehole projects. We also distributed water tanks to over 1,000 households to enable them harvest and store water for their use. We aim to have 80% of our homesteads connected with piped water by 2022. We acquired 29 garbage skips, 1 garbage truck, and 1 skip loader, which have gone a long way in aiding the cleanliness of the county. Towards the attainment of the county's goal of having 30% tree cover, we have so far planted over 200,000 trees in conjunction with the Kenya Forest Services and other non-governmental organizations. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, while agriculture is our mainstay, trade is the enabler that ensures that this produce returns a worthwhile income to our farmers. Our county position as breadbasket in the county and region demands that we create avenues through which our people can get their produce to ready and willing buyers. This, honorable members, has been the motivation behind the aggressive building of markets by my administration. To create a conducive trading environment, we have upgraded to modern standards, and we have so far constructed 11 markets, namely Makutano, Waiguru, Kagio Cereals, Kagio Clothes Market, Kutus Market, Kagumo, Kianyaga, Kiamutogo, Kerogoya, Sagana, and Kibingoti. In partnership with the national government, we will be constructing additional smaller markets in Ngoka and Karie, respectively, this year. We built the capacity of Muirwa Cooperatives Society through the provision of coffee processing equipment. We have also trained about 42 cooperative societies on how better to manage their societies. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, devolution is working. For any doubting Thomases, they need only to look at the transformation of our urban centers to believe. Improvement of our urban centers goes a long way in attracting investors and creating job opportunities, as well as make our county an investment hub. Through various partnerships, such as Kenya Urban Support Program, we have covered 25,000 square meters of Cabro pavement in Kutus, Kagio, Kianyaga, and in Kerogoya, changing the face of the towns and creating about 840 parking slots. Through the SUED Sustainable Urban Economic Development Program, we have participated and secured funding for the development of Kerogoya Kutus Municipality. Through it, we intend to put up a husks factory where byproducts of crops such as rice, coffee, cassava will be used to make furniture, boards, and for both local use and international export. We have put in place elaborate urban municipal plans and county spatial plans, both of which will be sent to this honorable house for your input. We are also undertaking the development of an urban economic plan for Kerogoya Kutus Municipality, which will enable us to attract investors to the county. In collaboration with the national government, we are carrying out stormwater management projects and tarmacking of some roads in Kianyaga, Kutus, and Kagio towns as well. Honorable members, as a county government, out of the 480 million revenue collection targets for the last financial year, we only managed to collect 374 million. This consistent non-realization of revenue targets demanded a different approach through various interventions. One such measure is the engagement of Strathmore University in automation of our revenue collection system, with the aim of improving efficiency. This has streamlined the issuance of business permits, general and periodic billings, and payments of various taxes. The system makes it easier for clients to pay their revenue and also seal money losses, besides enhancing communication, accountability, and transparency. Mr. Speaker, having outlined our achievements so far, we remain alive to the fact that the country, and indeed the county and the global economy, is still reeling from the adverse effects of the pandemic. Our farmers, many of whom are small scale, are traders, youth, boda riders, and jua kali artisans, are looking to us to make decisions that will improve their livelihoods. We must therefore work together to enhance existing programs and create new ones which will have multiplier effect on productivity and job creation. I call on you once again for your support as we come together in the implementation of the post-COVID socio-economic recovery strategy. Honorable members, Following the consultations this past week with His Excellency the President, with the leaders from the region, His Excellency has committed to fast-track the implementation and funding of the following development projects, which will greatly impact the lives of our residents. Kerugoya Kutus bulk water and sewerage projects, which is already underway. We will be getting 25 new borehole projects to be dug across the county. Thiba Dam, which is expected to double rice production in the county, will be expected to be finished before the end of this year. Lining of rice canals in Mwea irrigation scheme to prevent water seepage and allow smooth flow to downstream farms. He has committed to give us another 15 transformers to be distributed across the county in the next 1 month. Waiguru Stadium, which began last year, to be finished before the end of this year. Tarmacking of 33 kilometers of roads in Waiguru town within the settlement scheme, and tarmacking within Kianyaga town under the stormwater drainage program. His Excellency has also committed to supporting the equipping of the new Kerugoya Hospital complex, which he has promised to come and launch. The roads that have been committed that will start in the next 1 month include the Kimbimbi, Kutus, Kimbimbi, Kanjiji PI, Kirego, Kianyaga, Kangaita, Mugumo Road, which is 67 kilometers. The PI, Morindoko, Mombone, Kiombo, and Dinderoko, Marurumo, Kiandegwa Road, which is 55 kilometers, will be starting in the next 1 month. And then Giriambu, Geshonjo, Kiamutogo Road will be starting in April. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker and honorable members, as we all know, we are in a constitutional moment, a moment that calls on us leaders to amplify our voice and secure the interests of our people. As a county, we stand to benefit in many ways from the BBI proposals. Firstly, the allocation to counties will increase from the current 15% to 35%. In Kirinyaga, we will receive an increment in our equitable share allocation from the current 4 billion to 8 billion shilling. This amount will enable us realize enormous development for our people and reduce dependency on the national government. Second, the provision of a minimum 5% allocation towards Ward Development Fund in Kirinyaga will guarantee at least 400 million to every ward every year. Thirdly, BBI provides for the inclusion of the members of the county assemblies to be part of the county executive committee, and therefore this greatly will enhance collaboration between the assembly and the executive and ensure better delivery of our development agenda together. On matters of gender, I have been at the forefront championing the inclusion of women in leadership positions across the sectors and echelons of our society. Women are set to reap enormous benefits through 30% representation in all institutions in the county and in the country, as well as at the national level. If for nothing else, this would be a huge win for the country at large. Honorable members, following the recent consultations with the head of state and your colleagues in the region on agreement to pass the BBI proposal, be assured that you will be remembered in Kirinyaga for generations to come as those who safeguarded the needs and interests of their people when it mattered most. As such, I urge us to put our personal and partisan political interests aside, to put the Kirinyaga people first, and therefore to unanimously pass the proposed constitutional BBI amendment bill. I hope we will be the first county to pass this bill in the region and thus lead by example. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as I conclude, I have taken time to reflect on my time in office, and in doing so, realize that we have a shorter time in office than when we first began. This indeed is our final league before we go back to our employers, who are the people of Kirinyaga, for our performance reviews. I want to thank you once again for your continued support and continue to encourage us all as leaders to work together in order to deliver on the pledges we made to the people of Kirinyaga. I also want to thank the great people of Kirinyaga for their support and encouragement as we have continued to serve them. I assure you of our commitment to transforming our county and achieving our Kirinyaga Rising vision. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless Kirinyaga County.
Your Excellency, members of the County Assembly, the County Secretary, County Executive Committee members, County Department Chief Officers, guests present, ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding. It is now time to adjourn the County Assembly. This Assembly now stands adjourned until Monday, the 15th of February, 2021, at 2:30 p.m. All members and guests are invited to a reception at the Members' Lounge immediately after an official group photo outside the precincts. Honorable members, you are requested to remain upstanding for our national anthem and in your places until Her Excellency and the Governor and the Speaker's procession leaves the chambers. I thank you, honorable members.